Hi. All right. What we doing today? What are we doing today? We are going to recreate an old drawing of mine in my sketchbook. But, hello. This is an old drawing that I made in 2016, if this is to be believed. I'm glad I put the month too. That's actually quite interesting. I made this in probably Photoshop with like a Wacom tablet back in the day. She's impressive. We got like a lot of detail and like, you know, we were going for some kind of style. I love the glowiness. But it's been almost 10 years. It's been 8 years. So I thought I'd recreate it and how I would do it now. And I don't know what, I think where I got the reference for this from. It's from like a resource site called posespaces.com, I believe. But I have a different reference that is similar that we're gonna use, which is this. We're just gonna crop it down, plop it into my sketchbook and use it as a reference. I like how dynamic and how they're looking at each other here. So I think we can achieve a similar thing. So I'm gonna have this up as ref, and then we're gonna insert our photo. So I think I want something that big, I think. How do I make just the canvas get smaller? There we go. Because I don't necessarily want the legs. I'm like crossing over with my hands as if that helps. Priscilla, hi! How exciting! I don't really want the legs as part of this, so I don't know what I'm gonna do, because like, obviously that's not in the original. I'm saving you. What am I saving you from? So I think we'll crop it like this for now, and we'll use that as our little proportion reference. Save out the lanky legs. All right, let's see here. I will save you from your day, which is probably far earlier than mine. Hello, 8 a.m. your time. All right, I need to lower this a little bit so I can draw. Okay. I always feel like I have to defend my choices here whenever somebody gets to witness me draw. Where is my sketchbook? Sketch. Yes, that's what we want. I have like a little, what you call it, to make it so that the iPad isn't flat on the desk, so I don't get terrible neck pain, but it's hard to draw on occasionally. Okay, so what I do is that I roughly sketch in everything by tracing, which is what I do with my real life paintings of myself. We project that stuff, we trace where everything is supposed to be, so we don't even have to worry about proportion or where the facial features need to be. Plus we make it our own as we go. Ooh, we don't want white. We want our nice hot pink so we can see what we're doing. So we'll keep that there. Because we are gonna turn this into Solus and my Inquisitor from Dragon Age. And it's gonna be great. Hopefully. I will trace this baddie. How is your day going to go today? Off to school, just chilling? It's a Thursday. I'm like, what day even is it? Actually, we won't need hair, but we're gonna block it in anyway. Try to figure out where the skull is underneath all that hair. Oh, please tell me I'm on the right layer. Whew. Sometimes. It hasn't happened a lot, but when it has happened, it's always the worst. What's going on there? Just neck. Ooh, that'll be fun. Oh, well, the screaming in the chapel. You just gotta, here's an inside joke for only us. You just gotta howl at them, and then I think that'll change everything. Make them really scared with them chapel vibes. But the acoustics in there, top tier, I have to imagine, for both music and howling, I would say. A little shrug. Also, I hope my sound is okay. I have tested. Infamous. Never forget. It was one of the funnest drives, the funnest laughs I've ever had. Just laugh thinking about it right now. Ah, good times, good times. Whenever I'm tracing lips and noses, I'm like, this stuff looks so bizarre. What are faces? These emojis are great. All right, let's see here. That pupil's gonna be fun to draw later. Same with his. Eyes are weird when they're half closed. Yep, you should teach them kids. Do you have to play for elementary school students a lot? I have to imagine it's part of the practice of playing. Also, what a crowd to get used to playing, too. I have to imagine, like, if anybody's gonna heckle or make a lot of noise, it's like little kids. Oh, okay. Just 4 times a year. I remember having to, like, because I did violin in elementary school when I was in 5th and 6th grade. And in 5th grade, I took it real serious, but then I did not after that. But we had to play little recitals, not only to, like, our peers at the time, but then we had to go to, like, there was an old person home, like, near my elementary school. Yeah, and I had, not me, I mean, we all did. We all had to go, and not only did we have to, like, sing, we sang, like, Disney music and, like, random, like, you know, cutesy stuff, and then we also had to play, and I hated it. I did not have a good time. I was so, like, shy, and then didn't feel confident in my ability to play. So, like, fun fact, here we go. Here's a bunch of Avalon lore this morning. Learned how to play violin. I was super interested in it, but I just was having such trouble reading, like, conceptualizing how to read music, that instead I just started to pretend like I could, and then I would fake play. Like, by 6th grade, I was not playing anymore. I was just like, yeah, this is vaguely where the hands and the notes are, and I wouldn't play very loudly. My teachers had to have known, because I didn't, like, I practice at home, but, like, I just didn't. I think I was just a little too, I don't know, like, maybe just not confident enough to, like, embrace it. I love the idea of it. And, like, at the time, I was in a class, like, in 5th grade, we only had, like, 4 of us. So, like, we would get taken out of class to go practice violin. And I must have liked it. All I remember is, like, the fear, which is funny because then I would go on to do theater, and that was not as scary. Like, that was way more fun. I did a lot of more of, like, behind the scenes stuff, like, for like tech crew and stuff, but like I had a couple roles on stage. They were small, but I loved it. So I'm like, what was it about music? Don't know. It still scars me to this day. Nick wants me to like play music with him because he plays like guitar and bass and stuff. Theater kid alert. There's something about music that like wigs me out, and I'm like, you will never hear me sing. You will never hear me play a note on that piano. But I still play, just quietly to myself. Yeah, it does. It feels like a lot of pressure. I don't know why. I can improv. Look, I'm doing it now. Talking at a room of people or persons. But there's something about music that I think because I enjoy it so much, it feels like I love listening to all kinds of music, and it feels like inaccessible to me as like an art form. So kudos to you for pursuing it like into your like master's era, because that's whew, especially like I don't want to belittle theater kids, but I feel like once you're in it, like especially if you get in it young, like it's fun and it's hard, but like, you know, I feel like it's, at least I don't know, maybe that's just my experience, it felt easier to kind of pursue. Toots uncontrollably. Stop. Oh, I'm sorry that you're scared, but you're good at what you do. I've witnessed it. I've seen it with my own eyes. Only the one time, RIP, but like, well, I mean, if you don't count like Instagram stories, I suppose. Well, I don't know what I'm gonna do about these leggies yet. Maybe they'll be like a stone that she's leaning on and not his knee. So we'll outline her and then we'll go from there. No leggies. RIP, I'm so sorry. I'm trying to cover it with my hand. That doesn't do anything. Never mind the vague crotch shot that is happening here. I did not intend. Twitch, do not ban me. I am so sorry that the human body exists and we must perceive it. I'll try to like not zoom in. Oops. Where we can see such things, but we gotta get a little bit closer. Got the veins on this guy's hands. Mwah. Thank you. Yes, we can turn it into something else. It's a collaborative effort now. Did I get? I did not get the boobage area, or there we go. What's happening there? I think that's just her bra, so we'll just go like this. Look away, Twitch. I know. I'm so sorry that bodies exist and must be perceived. But once we turn it into a proper sketch and we're no longer looking at the ref, then it'll be fine. It's just abstract right now. Okay, oh my god, I think, did we get all the facial features? Oh, I didn't do her head. Okay, ear. We're gonna make that into an elf ear, so we're just gonna kind of roughly sketch that in. And then I'm gonna go ahead and block in the bun, but we're gonna probably do something else. But that way we kind of know like the shape of what the hair is doing. Excuse me. All right, okay. No more reference. Oh my god, his head looks so small. It's all right, we'll make it work. Like, I'm like, that's his skull? I don't think so. Also, I'm a little bit hungry. Kimberly, hello! Oh my god, you're allowed to chat this time. I'm just gonna quickly eat a candy corn or two because I'm a little bit more snacky than I thought I would be. And I'm one of those dreadful people that loves candy corn. Her leg looks weird. Candy corn, I know. Seeing thumbnails. I hope that, does that mean that like there's some really risque? Oh, I didn't bring them up with me. I was about to be like, Kimberly, and I was gonna raise it back and be like, I have the pumpkins right here. They're downstairs. They're good. You can't binge those though. That's like a oh my god, a pumpkin. You eat one, maybe two, because that's a lot of sugar. They taste the same to me though. I know if I was gonna poll chat right now, I feel like it'd be like, who likes candy corn? It'd be like 1v1 right now. What can I say? It's just sugar. It tastes good. All right, I'm going to now get some darker tones going on so we can better see what we're working with. Is that like a really sad grumpy cat? Or is it a dog? I'm like going back up the chat to make sure I didn't miss anything. But yes, the reference image, we're having a moment with it. But basically we're remaking an old drawing of mine from 2016. Of course it's soulless because apparently I am trash. All right, what do I want to start with here? I think I need to reshape him. His head, rather. Because right now it's giving the reference image man, which is fine. I'm gonna merge that down so this is all one color. Thank you, Priscilla. No, I don't actually think I'm trash. I think I have great taste in fantasy video game boyfriends. We love a tragedy, or like a we can't be together, oh god, moment. So, but not everybody likes it. I'm glad that it made sense once I explained it to you, Kimberly. I'm just saying, he's not a bad boy, but he kind of is. We love layers. In the wise words of Shrek. Layers. Totally agree. You know, in another wise phrase that has been said in the world, I'm not here to yuck anybody's yum, and I expect people to do the same to me unless I'm being hyper problematic, which I often am not, thankfully. Onion boy, oh my god. All right, I feel like Solus is, let's see, we're gonna add them elf ears, boy. I don't know why I did that. We need some elfy ears. I feel like they're more pointed than that. And obviously his nose and mouth are very different. I feel like I need to get some Solus references up. Give me a mo. I'm gonna open up Pinterest here. Actually, do I have any shirt? No, we're gonna go Pinterest. I might have some on my pictures, but I don't want to. Hello, it was already there. I don't want to showcase any pictures of mine on accident, so we're gonna just. This could be good, because I just feel his face shape is so odd. Such tiny eyes, but his ears go out so far. Okay, we're just gonna rough sketch. You know, we're gonna see what we feel. I'm having this really weird sense of deja vu, which I think came from, like, I had really weird vivid dreams last night, so I feel like I'm just still not fully awake. This music is reminding me of Avatar: The Last Airbender, but it is a lo-fi Dragon Age mix, which is fascinating. Okay. Kind of has like a lower tipped nose. Doing this like mirrored is very interesting. Okay, we're getting closer. The eyebrows are very different though. They're not really arched like that, are they? Boop, 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 boop. Just kind of essence of. Barbie Nutcracker was my jam. I don't have it up here, do I? Oh, I don't know where I had it. I might have given it away actually. When I moved out here, my parents gave me a box of like some of the toys that I kept, and I have a Hercules and Meg, from Disney Hercules and Meg, Barbie, fully opposable, love them. I don't know where I put them, but I also used to have a Nutcracker Barbie in the tutu and shit. Like I was thinking about this. I've been thinking about this a lot lately. I feel like I saw something on Instagram and I put it on my stories, and then now I've just been thinking about all the Barbie movies, because that and the Rapunzel Barbie movie, mwah, chef's kiss. I love those movies so much. Yeah, the Nutcracker Barbie, She had like a dress that turned into a tutu by like you pull some strings, and then her feet were like ballet. And I was like, get out of here. This is so fancy. And I don't know why I got rid of it. Probably because at some point I was like, I'm too grown up to have Barbies. But I think it went to other children. So that's good. Another little girl got to play with it, but I kind of regret giving it away, if I'm gonna be honest. Priscilla. Am I surprised? No, we are two peas in a pod when it comes to the things that we enjoy. Like, it reminds me of when we were like, what's your favorite Disney? And we're like, Beauty and the Beast. And I was like, oh, see, you get me. That reminds me, there's a book series. I don't know what kind of books you like to read, Priscilla. So this could be not a good thing for you. I don't know. I don't know what your tastes are. We are the same, but so different. But there is a book series called Bonded by Thorns. It is a kind of Beauty and the Beast retelling, but it's a like reverse harem type situation. So depending on if you're interested in something like that, it's all fantasy. It's great, but they're all cursed. Not in beast forms necessarily. It's complicated, but it's a great retelling of Beauty and the Beast, in my opinion. It's on Kindle Unlimited. It's a little bit trashy. Yes, I did recommend this to Kimberly. I'll see the gals in the chat, and I love it. But I want to do some fan art for it. I've been meaning to, and I just haven't found like good reference images for like who I've imagined the men to be, but I want to do like single portraits of all of them, and then hopefully the authors will see them and like it. But for now, we're doing fan art. Well, they're kind of in beast forms. They turn into giant wolves. It kind of teeters on, dare I say, like, not alpha stuff. There's no alpha stuff. There's no alpha stuff. There's no nodding. Just FYI. But they do turn into giant wolves. Oh, I don't know why it's saying... I forgot I had a Ko-Fi even attached to this. But yeah, you can go there. But, like, I don't really post anything on it. Thank you, Ko-Fi bot. So, yes. Fan art eventually. Once I find, like, not inspiration, but the proper face claims that I'm picturing. All right, do we have any other references of Solus that would work for this position? Like, gee, I wish I just had one where he's looking down. That would be so much helpful. Oh no, this one's a moving one. But that does show his egg-shaped head very well. So we're gonna go with that. Honestly, I feel like I've narrowed down to Patreon being kind of my main like hub of a space. So I should delete the Ko-Fi bot, but you know, it's good to have your options open. You know what I'm saying? Options of where people can go. Is this also a GIF? Of course it is. Of course. Okay. Okay. I'm so hyped up now that we've had so much conversation. I'm like, I don't even know where to begin. Where to begin and dive in. And thank you all for stopping by. That's true. You're so right, Kimberly. I get so, like, here's some like industry talk, some like shop talk, is that I'm constantly torn between being like, here's where everything is that I ever do for ease of access, which I think I kind of talked to you, Kimberly, about this a couple weeks ago, but then I forget, like, accessibility wise, I should just have all my things open, really, because like, that's just good to have. There's no reason to not. And so that's just, I constantly am balancing how it's good to have multiple like socials. Oh my God. Yeah, angles are so hard. I won't delete it. It is open. I was thinking about putting commissions there as well. I just wanted to make it easy for people to have one process. I don't know. I'm also debating about like announcing more commission ability, like ways of doing it, because like obviously it's nice, but I kind of don't want to use PayPal if I can help it. It's just because the fees are quite high. But like the invoice process is nice. It's hard to like figure out what like will work for how I want to freelance stuff. And then like also like I'm always constantly like, am I pricing too high? Am I pricing too low? There's so many things to think about. While also being like, I should just draw for funsies because I like to draw. Come back. Oh my goodness. Zoom in, please. Thank you. So those are just some of the things I've been thinking about, as I've often written onto my Patreon. Like, yeah, it's not bad, especially like I will say, and I gave this advice to my friend Rosemary not too long ago, like you should just start posting stuff on, like, I started posting on Tumblr, and that's where I got all of the people that have commissioned me, because when you post niche content, like, you know, the Akatar stuff I was making, just for fun, I was just posting like the ship that I liked, and I was just doing drawings of them. You can find community really easily on Tumblr because the hashtags actually matter. Yeah, Rosemary. I feel like that's harder to do through like Instagram, because Instagram's more like people that you know, plus like some people who can find you. But Tumblr is still pretty active. I highly recommend. If you find, sirens, your community there, or just like, I don't know. I'm not hyper active on Tumblr, but I still want to engage with the stuff that I like. Oh, the lips look weird. Why do they? Maybe I need to move his nose down just a little bit. We're gonna do it this way. Let's try that. Elongate the nose a little bit. I feel like that makes sense. No? I know, I have Car as well. I don't post on it regularly because like, there was one thing that I saw that I thought was a really good point, not to encourage anything from Facebook Meta, because it is complicated. But like, as an artist, it's really easy to follow other artists. But the harder part is trying to find people who appreciate your art and would commission you. Because like other artists would commission you, but like Car is so specifically an art community, which is great, but does it necessarily mean that someone will fall upon your work there? It's harder because it's a newer app and it's in your community and all these things, which is why like Instagram and like, God forbid, Twitter, which I will not go back to, were really great places for people to just find your stuff. Because I actually just cleaned out like my following list because I'd followed so many companies too, but like, I wanted to narrow down to like the artists that I really engage with the most, and then also follow like other things. Like I've been following, accounts on Instagram, which is amazing because it feels so like old school Tumblr to me, where they're posting just screen caps that they take in games and stuff like that. So it's not so much about the person behind the account. It's more about just like the things they enjoy, and it becomes more bloggy. But all that to say, like, as much as I wish it were not so, Instagram seems to be a really good like bouncing off place, especially now that they have Threads, which I don't use, I think, to its like best ability, but it does seem like a healthier version of Twitter so far anyway, at least the things that I am shown. Oh, that's a good nose. Is it Solus's nose? I don't know, but we're figuring it out. I should go back to my photos and check out how I drew him here. Maybe I can rotate him a little bit. It's fine. Like, Threads is kind of nice because it's real random. Like, I see, like, my feed is just a bunch of random people and occasionally people that I follow. But I have noticed there's a lot of like indie authors on there who will be like, hey, I really need to, like, I want a drawing. Can like artists respond to this and kind of give me your shtick and some like examples of your work, which is kind of cool, but it also like skews me out a little bit because I'm like, it feels weird that we're competing in this way instead of you just kind of knowing what you want. But at the same time, how can you know what you want if you haven't followed a lot of artists? It's an interesting thing. But I think the indie book scene is like a really cool place to be. If I could draw the cover of a book, that'd be really cool. I feel like that is like on my bucket list. I want to start drawing like fanfic covers for like, I have them downloaded to my Apple Books app. But I haven't figured out a good composition for one yet, so I just haven't done it. But I think that'd be a neat, like, essentially a homework assignment for myself. I need like an angle of him that is more of a profile instead of a 3/4 face shot. You know, do I have a picture like that saved? I might. This is close. This is very close. Hello, Tumblr. No. We'll use this as like a good basis. His nose does not stick out as far as I thought it did. What did Gabby do? I'm so sorry. I lost. Oh, I think. Hold on. I'm gonna check her out because I'm like, I feel like I've seen that username so much. Yes. Oh my God. I forgot I was following them. God, their art is so good. Look at that. They're also playing Love in Deep Space. I need to discuss things with Gabby. Surprised I didn't see these. These must not be showing up on my feed. I'll add her to like my faves so that way she shows more prevalently on my feed. Cool. I know. I feel like being an artist just means you gotta make yourself homework assignments. I know. Isn't that always the way? It's so hard to like keep up with people in general, but especially once you move away. But I'm like, yeah. I have, it's like when we started talking again just recently where I'm like, oh yeah, Priscilla, love Priscilla. But we have so much that we talk about we have in common, but once you fall off, sometimes it's hard to get back on the talking train. God, this just doesn't look like him yet, and I don't know why. Oops. Maybe too much of a lip. Ah, oh well. Zooming out. I wish like, okay, this one's better. Ah. Wait. There we go. Now what we're gonna do, what are we gonna do here? I'm just gonna download this maybe, and then like flip it around in my images so that way, I can better understand the proportions. Let's do that. Just to kind of see what I'm working with here. Because this is probably more turned, well, is it a little bit more turned than this? I'm pointing with my finger as if you can see what I'm talking about. Oh, thank you for coming, Priscilla. I hope you can come to another one. But let's see. I think this is what we'll do. Oops. I'll erase some harsher lines here. I'm going to extend the bridge just a little bit. Just to see what will happen. I'm gonna erase that eyebrow I was working on. Because I just want to get the profile of him more accurate. So I can like, so I feel like I'm seeing Solus. I love the dog emojis, oh my god. All right, let's see what we can do here. What time are we at? Wow, we're already 40 minutes in. That's great. 'Tis great. Okay. So funny, this lo-fi really makes the Dragon Age soundtrack sound very similar to Mass Effect, which feels pretty apt. Okay, so yeah, his nose shape is what's throwing me off. Just gonna... But I do think that's the right, like, kind of length. It still looks weird. Okay, this is what we're gonna do. We're going to insert this photo. Hello, where are you, sir? There we go. Because the best way to kind of see what my proportions are doing is this way. Which, okay. I mean, obviously this head angle is not exactly what we want. I'm even trying to see, like, is his head a little bit too big? But we can work with this. So I think I might do that. Where's his neck here? Is he still a little too big? Let's see. Yeah, okay. I think that's a good size. So then what I will do is that we start to adjust everything. I'm going to go ahead and erase the original head, I think. You know what I'll do first, just so that way I don't feel like I've made a mistake, is that I will copy and paste the original head and then hide it. And then we're gonna select the right layer. And then we're just gonna go ahead and erase what we have. Sometimes I can like start to futz around with like the original and make it look like the character. And other times it's just so much easier to just kind of trace over the proportions so you don't have to fight it so hard and then kind of adjust. Because like I said, I don't want to trace and get all the detail. I just want to trace to get the correct proportions, so we're not spending, you know, 40 minutes with like the ugly stage and doubting if things look correct. Like, this still isn't going to be perfect. Like, there's probably some like weird proportions that are going to happen depending on his the way his head is tilted and such, but it will give us something to work with. And yeah, his eyes will not be open, but I want to place them so I know kind of where they are, where they sit on his face. So let me take this. There we go. And then because I didn't voice it in the moment, but I did make another layer where I put this head so that way I can move it to where I think it should go. I won't twist it. I was going to. Now I'm gonna take a look at the body and see if this like looks right, you know? If this, I think actually that might work really well. Okay, 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 okay. Great, okay, so that means we can go back to the original layer, and I'm just gonna start erasing some of this. Oh wait, that's her hand, so we'll keep that. And then I need to adjust her hand. I know, I'm not magically making it perfect. As it turns out, it takes a lot of futzing around to make things look good. Despite my best efforts and my whole degree that says I should be able to draw. I feel like I have to adjust her hand so it's more like on the back of his head instead of like now this kind of gaping, because she had her fingers kind of in the hair of the other guy. So, am I ready to commit this head there? I think we are. So I'm gonna merge it. We've merged it down. It's gonna look so good. Not to get excited preemptively, but I'm digging that. I'm like, it looks like Solus, hooray! The vision, it's coming to life. Okay, so let me look at this reference again. So I'm gonna look at her hand. Okay, it was like kind of in his hair. But we can kind of estimate where her fingers would have ended. Right, so ugh, it's looking alien right now. That's okay. That's okay. Hands are weird. Like the bits on the human body that are very interesting to me to draw are hands, mouths, ears, and noses, because it's not, at least in the style that I draw, it's so hard to kind of, I mean, like we've outlined them here, right? Oh, it's looking a little pixelated, my guy. But it's all about the shadows. Here. It's all about shadows. Like ears are just weird shadows. Like it's like, oh, there's kind of a line here, and then usually there's like a dark pit of shadow here, and it kind of goes down like this, so the earlobe, and then you have like another kind of line shadow here, and then like you have a kind of darker one here, but it's all just like this essence of shadow. Yes. But like once you kind of figure out the like little hacks, we were just like, oh, so like an ear is just one big little shadow here, and then like, you know, some littler ones, and then you kind of like, you know, do this. Then you're like, ah, oh, weird. That looks, I mean, it's a messy ear, but that's an ear, recognizably. And noses and mouths are the same way, which is why I tend to just color in the upper lip, because love me a bottom lip, a full bottom lip, but when you kind of like the more shadow you use, the more it becomes like a more 3D rendered thing, and that's not the style I'm necessarily going for. I love me some cross hatching, but oh, did I draw that weird? Is that why that's... Here, we're just gonna pump this out a little bit more. And then her thumb is right here, actually. We're just gonna like, ooh, the essence of it, because I don't know exactly what it would look like. It's all right if your messages are coming through slowly. It's one of those things where like, you know, when you start to talk about something that you don't realize you know a lot about, and I should realize that I know a lot about art because I studied it for quite some time, but as I talk out loud, sometimes I'll be like, wow, you know what you're doing. That's so crazy. Like, it turns out you got to the point where you know what the fuck you're talking about. Crazy. All those classes of figurative drawing really paid off. Anatomy is important. So if like her hand is like this, right? So like she's like kind of, ooh, I'm looking in my viewfinder and it's mirrored, so it's making it hard for me to position it. But like, so like, ooh, wait, it's something like this. So, and her fingers are more like, so what's the longest finger? In the viewfinder, it looks like the middle finger is actually longest, which is maybe why this looks very odd. And that she has like alien hands. And once I add like shadow to like this bit, that'll help. And I didn't really add the like little joint areas. Interesting, why didn't I do that? No wonder I'm having some problems visualizing that that's a hand. This is a really important hand too for the drawing itself, because this is the hand, which, past Avalon, you did such a good job, where it's gonna glow and it's gonna be really, what's the word? Really just something big. It's gonna be the focal point, which alternatively means that we don't have to worry too much about the fingers in the background versus the foreground, because they're going to be illuminated and kind of blown out. But I do want to make sure that, you know, it's accurate enough to where I'm like, oh yeah, that's a palm and a finger. I'm gonna go ahead and erase whatever this was, so that way I can kind of see. Oh, that might have been the rest of the thumb. God, thumbs are weird. Okay, let's go back. There's so much shadows happening here that it's hard to... All right, I'm just gonna have to trust myself that that is the correct anatomy, because it's looking real weird, especially like right here. But it's just because her hand is bent. And sometimes what I find helpful is, even if I've traced this, right, and I've gotten a lot of curvature happening, I try to then make it more geometric. I'll go like, okay, here's like the hinge of the wrist, because A, it helps kind of translate my style to the piece, but B, it helps me understand kind of where the bones are, because bones are pretty straight. I mean, they're not really straight, are they? They're very organic, but they tend to have, like, we have, oh God, where's the camera? We have angles to our fingers, especially, so it's helpful to kind of know where like the bones are sitting. And I've had to draw so many skeletons, so I feel like, weirdly enough, that is it. it paid off. It was very helpful. Could I tell you what all the bones are called anymore? No. But where the bones are, God, that looks odd, doesn't it? It's okay. The light's going to make it look more blown out and we won't even see all the detail work. Okay. Let me just check my music at the moment to see if we're nearing the end of this one. And then I think I'll switch to some Baldur's Gate, because we love a fantasy vibe and it normally doesn't get me muted when I save the recording. We'll see if this does. I hope not. But the upload, in case anyone's wondering, I'll drop it in the chat as well, just for like posterity. But it's by Sonavo Background Music, and it's just lo-fi Dragon Age. Hello. There we go. Paste, you fool. Copy. And then paste. Why not? Paste. There we go. Anywho, back to the drawing. All right. I'm gonna pop another candy corn in my mouth. Really dating this video eventually with all the candy corn references. The framing of this is interesting because I'm thinking about what I'd want the background to look like eventually. And I might make them smaller because like ideally I love me some kind of arched background, right? Or alternatively just like a kind of squarish background. So if I'm gonna do something like that, they're a little big for the page. So let's just, that's probably a good size. And we can always like cut off like her legs and the rock that she's laying on by way of using that framing for the background. Yeah. That's feeling right. That's feeling good. All right, it's her turn now. Let's focus on some details for her. I think we're gonna just do big curly hair. I do love me an arched background. If I can incorporate one, I will. I have all these panels that eventually I will gild gold and paint something on. I don't know what's gonna go on them yet. I think I posted about it on Patreon like a year ago now. Still have them. Still have these gothic curved things. Sometimes in art you gotta cut off some people's legs. It just be like that sometimes. But I have all these like panels that eventually I will paint something on. But for now they're just regally gilded in I don't know if it's fake gold. It's not like high quality gold, gilded gold stuff, but it looks very pretty. All right, so we're gonna make this hair just curly and wild. Gotta get that curly girl, curly haired rep, you know? That looks a little bit weird. Okay, actually, let me undo a little bit of what I did so I can kind of see where her skull would have been. All right, so her hairline is more, right? So if we kind of follow that, we're gonna like, the hair probably is gonna fall back. This is always the fun part. I used to dread this part when I was learning how to draw, of like having no reference and being like, well, I just have to figure it out. Yeah, it's very fun. That's right, I did. Oh my God. That was like, what? So much longer ago. That's so crazy. Like so much longer being like, I can't conceive that that was probably 2 years ago, if not further. Because like I can't even conceive that that me and Nick have lived in Tennessee now for almost a year. Too curly. I don't want her to have like perfectly little curly bangs over her ears, but I want her ear to be shown because we love a good elf ear. Just have to decide how much of it will show. How much, like, I kind of want, as I do in most of my drawings, I love windswept hair. So I want her hair to be, I want it to be perceived as if it's in motion and that wind is rustling it. But like, we don't want it too messy, you know, because then it just looks like messy hair. I'm gonna go ahead and, there we go, hide the background for now so I can kind of see. I'm gonna undo that and then we'll hide the background. And then in my original painting, I'm pretty sure I drew her nude. Love that for her. And he was in armor, but I don't think I'm gonna do armor this time. I think she'll be clothed, but will he? I don't know. I mean, you're not gonna see anything of him anyway. How do I want to do that? I wonder. I could always do kind of like a dress of some kind. How do I want to do that? All right, I'll think about it as I start to render her face. Now, I want to make her look not exactly like the reference lady. Did my music end? Nope, we have 2 tracks left. Good to know. Nikki. Hey, I love figurative drawing. It's what inspired my academic work. What drove me to even get my degree was that I enjoyed figurative drawing so much. It's why I was a model myself. It's just so dramatic. I was talking about being a theater kid earlier, and I feel like it's similar where like I love the artistry. There's something about it that's just so dramatic, especially with dynamic posing. Poses in general. I think I want her nose to be a little cuter. By that, I mean kind of like a Roman nose. That's not a Roman nose. I don't know what kind of nose I mean, but just a little sticky out ear. Ooh, and then the question is, am I gonna have... I'm gonna do a new layer for this. I love the Valicilline, which is like the facial tattoos that Dalish elves have. Even though Solus removes the Vaseline from a romanced Levellian. Because technically, historically, they're slave markings. Fun lore. But the Dalish didn't know that. They thought they were honoring their heritage and their gods by continuing that practice because all of the history was lost. So there's a whole thing where he removes it, but I love seeing it. It's so fun. So I'm gonna like roughly kind of do the ones I like, which are like these branched ones. Kind of go over the nose and on the forehead. I don't know if I'm gonna commit to it. But they're there. I might just like render them similarly to my other drawings, which is where I do it in color and it kind of looks like it's glowing on their skin versus being an actual part of them. Because I love doing that with Solus and his like little Ben Harel eyes. It feels symbolic. It feels like it, you know, it's a whole moment. More hard ankles. I have the most absurd song stuck in my brain right now. And it's just from Bo Burnham's Inside. And it's when he's like, spider, crawling in the corner, or something like that. And it's just on repeat in my brain. Incorrect lyrics and all. My camera's very out of focus. Focus on me. Hello. Hello. There we go. Eyebrows are also so, like, they're so easy and hard to render at the same time, because if you do too many marks, it just looks like you're shading something really oddly. And you've like outlined the brow instead of drawn it, which I feel like a lot of, when I watch a lot of makeup videos and they're like penciling in their eyebrows, I'm like, you get me, because you have to just kind of carefully add a hair here and there to make it thicken. All right, she's looking like someone I've drawn. Oh, I know. Oh God. And it's not even like, it's a catchy song, but it's like 20 seconds long anyway. I would prefer anything else. You know, she is kind of looking like that drawing I did of Feyre and Rysand, the commission I posted a couple weeks ago. I might need to like change some details. Cause this isn't the same. I mean, it's the same lady that I used part of the reference for, but like, is this the same pose even for her face? How can I change you? Is it maybe the mouth? Maybe we'll just the lips. It's also the fun thing about like stepping away from the reference is like trying to figure out what about it you can alter to make it look like a completely different person. I think your eyebrow's a little too hairy now, a little too scruffy. I'm just gonna like lightly erase. So I'm not full on erasing what I did, but just lightening the darkest areas. It could also be her eyebrow shape. Honestly, that makes her look like the reference image too. I have, let me see here. Oh, we're in photos, haha. Let me just, I'm gonna black out my screen just in case there are pictures I don't want anyone to see. So let me just, what can I do here? I can just hide the iPad real quick while I look for this reference image. Let's see here. Game caps. Because I have a picture, there she is, of my Lavellin. Look at her, she's so pretty. Honestly, they're not too different. But let's see if I can kind of make it look more like her. Oh, I believe the music has ended. So now we'll go to our Baldur's Gate music. Oh, let me pause that so I can go to the beginning of the track. There we go. And then let me know if it's too loud. It should be fine because it's the same YouTube channel or the same like browser window, so the audio shouldn't have changed. But if it did, let me know. I need to blow my nose. Oh. Grab the tissue box. All right. Check my time, see where we're at here. Okay, big ass nostrils. I know. I do think a straighter nose is probably gonna be the way we go here. I will say, I use so many mods to make her look not like a teenage woman. Teenage woman doesn't make any sense. Teenage girl. Because in Dragon Age Inquisition, here we go. I'm on my soapbox. Because of the way they like distinguish different races, which is interesting. So like you have the Kunari who are tall and big, right? Then you have humans who are just like average built and curvy. Like they got some curvature to their waistline and such. Elves are like rail thin and look a little like they're just very flat, which is a body type, but it's not, it doesn't feel adult to me. It doesn't feel like gross prepubescent or anything. It's just not the body type I would create in a video game of a character. They have since changed that apparently in Baelgard. All that to say is that I downloaded a bunch of like mods that allowed you to like alter the face even more and kind of get more creative with it. But noses, you cannot. There's just the lighting, the way the game, it just RIP. Big nostrils is the way that it ends up. I've never played a game where I've managed to make a cute nose though, I'm not gonna lie. Ooh, okay. I'm taking how that nose is looking now. Mm-hmm. Played an old MC in the new game, but it's becoming a I don't know! I don't think they're gonna be playable either. I know that you get to design them in the character creation, which means that they'll show up at some point, but yeah. I mean, in my dream world, when it was still called Dragon Age Dreadwolf before they changed the name, I was like, just give me, we'll just pull a Mass Effect and it'll be the same main character as the last game and we continue the story. I knew they were never gonna do that because that is so my experience only, where I'm like, let me be the Inquisitor with my arm chopped off and I will go look for my ex-boyfriend in the Fade and we'll see what happens. But obviously they did not do that, which is fine. It's fine. But give me that DLC. That's all I need. All of her scars that I put on her left side, unfortunate because we will not be able to see them, but oh, middle-aged. That makes more sense. Apologies. But yeah, no, it's very hard to make older looking characters in games. Bizarre to me because I like, as a 32-year-old, am I 32? As a 32-year-old, just give me the chance to be like middle-aged. I'm not even middle-aged, but like, you know, I don't want to look like I'm 22 saving the world. I feel like one day, I feel like Baldur's Gate, I've only played it through the one time. With the romances and that, I feel like if any other games try to do the kind of romance route again, much like any BioWare game has, I feel like we're getting to the era of like really good romance arcs, I'm hoping. I mean, I guess I could do her in her little buns. Her little buns. But I don't want to. An ancient 32-year-old. Yes, I've lived. I have trauma. I probably have anxiety. And I gotta save the world now? Come on. Also, like, me and Sarah should talk about this, obviously, because we both are very Dragon Age lore based. But I will say, today on this stage, that in the first Dragon Age Origins, there is a party member named Wynn, and she continuously says she's old enough to be your grandma, and she's a delight, and she has white hair, and she's probably older, maybe in her 60s, 70s. I don't know. I can't tell. A delight. Let me be a Wynn. Let me be her. Let me be an elder mage who's just like over this shit, but also is a delight, a delightful grandma to the companions. I'm just saying. Why can't I be Gilf or MILF? Oh my god. It's nice to have you here, Kimberly. Say hello to Clara. I hope I pronounced that right. In my brain, all of a sudden, I was like, oh my god, what if it's Clara and not Clara? But anyway, it was so nice to see you. Enjoy your walk. And thank you for the company. Thank you. I'm always good at pronouncing the thing wrong first. I don't know why. Brain just shorts out that way. Okay, let's see here. How can we make you look more like my solevellen? I don't really know which part of the drawing I want to work on next. Ah, gosh, I feel like she looks a lot like... Hold on. I'm gonna go look at that drawing. Nah. I felt like she looked like this one, but I think they're actually looking quite different, which is great. I'm just getting flashbacks to having to draw someone looking up, I guess. gonna erase some of the hair to kind of adjust, oopsies, the direction. I want, again, her ear to be visible, but not completely visible. Oh, my footrest is moving away from me. All right, I need to hide my screen real quick. Actually, what will I do? Yes, because I'm gonna switch back to the other references, but I don't want you seeing the rest of my photos. So let me go back here. Recents. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Are we making a very buff Silvis? Apparently we are. All right, let me just check a couple things here. Actually, I think I'm gonna take a 5-minute break, get some more water, use the loo, and I'll be right back. Thank you. All right, we back. Oof, my eyebrow. Eyebrow hurts for some reason. Anywho, let's get back at it. Oh, I need to readjust a much here. And my camera needs to focus in on me. Hello? Hello? Come back. There we go. Okay. We're gonna start blocking in some shadows. Well, maybe we'll work on his face, actually. We've rendered hers. Let's render his. We can adjust where he's looking. I was cross-hatching a lot of my shadows when I first started like uploading my work a couple months ago now. But I'm finding that I'm really liking just like blocking in by scribbling. Only to kind of like understand where the shadows will like be more heavily blocked in later. Nope, that makes him look like he's looking elsewhere. So let's... That works, that works. I've never noticed that his hair kind of seems blonde here. Yikes. Blondie. Just gonna erase kind of what feels like outline marks. I just put them back. Let's just... Did my Mac stop playing again? I'm so sorry. Are we playing in silence? There we go. Let me just do this. Hopefully it keeps playing for you. I'm trying to make it so... Oh, hold on. Leave Bluetooth on. Yeah. So that way I am able to listen to different things at the same time. There we go. The handoff feature with Apple stuff sometimes makes that difficult, but I think we're doing it. Keep an eye on my audio. Hopefully it's all good. We just made his lips luscious. Not exactly the goal here. Oops. I think we're gonna adjust this to where his mouth was just closed. I mean, he has a big lower lip. Good for him. There we go. Excuse me, did my music stop again? No, it should still be going. Okay, sorry. I got scared. I'm a little diligent now. All right, see what we're looking like here. We're getting there. Gotta make him look a little tired, no? We are definitely making him look older, but it's okay. We're gonna adjust. I just want to make sure. How do I want to? We'll do it. We'll do some cross hatching here because we don't want it to make it look like he has facial hair. But I do want to shade. Oop, I think I'm gonna have to call it soon. My wrist is starting to hurt, which is usually when I'm like break time for the rest of the day. But I think we've done pretty good. We're at like an hour 30. I feel like we have some very decent blockage happening here. Blocking. Actually, I never drew. I'm just gonna like estimate it for here. There we go. But I'm feeling good about it. I think we can continue this drawing. I might work on it by myself a little bit, but I think I'll try to save it for stream stuff. But I'm just happy that we've gotten started. Love drawing me some solace and being dramatic about it as we get closer to Veilguard. But I'm really loving the curls and stuff that are happening here. And I think this is gonna be really cool. I wanna try to do some different coloring down the line because obviously we're trying to remake this. So I think doing it in the style that I like to do now, but embracing kind of like how contrasted this previous piece was. Here, I'll do this. Would be really interesting. I'm not sure how I want to go about that, because I never really talked about it. I know I talked a little bit about it at the beginning, but my idea here was just kind of showcasing that the mark was progressing, which like kind of both metaphorically but physically, but kind of like how at the end of Trespasser, the mark is clearly like not a good part of the Inquisitor's every day. And when Solus takes it away, which is why I put him in the armor that I put him in, because, oh my god, the camera's so out of focus for this chat, isn't it? Hello. I wanted it to be like during Trespasser. But now I don't think I have to be so stuck to that. I think I love the idea of him like a fur coat of some kind. But we'll see, because I don't know that he would wear one, honestly. It feels kind of, well, no, he wore pelts and stuff, so never mind. But I don't know if I'm going to do the same idea where like her chest is also bursting open with the mark. I liked the idea of that, because I loved the like light that it would come from her. Though I didn't really add any highlights back then. I think I would change that now to where like there'd be a lot more highlights on his face, but we'll see. We'll start with this kind of idea of like the arm and it kind of, you know, going towards her elbow and forearm, because he had to cut off right at the elbow, or right above the elbow. Above meaning up, whoop, where am I on this camera? Up here, not like below. So I don't know, something like that could be interesting. Or a phantom hand could be interesting. I'm not sure yet. But I'm loving redrawing something. It's so exciting. It's kind of like low effort in terms of having to think of like a new thing to draw. But then you're still kind of using your brain to kind of reimagine it, which I love doing. I love reimagining things. I'm constantly like, how can this be better? So what a fun thing. 8 years later, we've come so far. So thank you for joining me on this journey today as we drew for like an hour and a half, and my hand is absolutely feeling it. There's a bird outside my window. Bye-bye. And I look forward to both finishing this piece, but perhaps working more on it on stream. We'll see how that goes. I only have Thursdays marked as a stream day so far, but I might switch it up to maybe Thursdays or Tuesdays and Thursdays, but we'll see, because life is busy. But I appreciate anybody watching who did. I was so happy to see some people already know, which is great. And I shall see you next week. Maybe sooner rather than later. Bye!